morning, candidates and the Form 3 students and any other student whose this content is relevant for. I hope you've subscribed to this channel. If you've not, consider subscribing to it so that if we have any educational or edutainment material, then you'll be with us. Now today I'm going to concentrate on paper 3. Paper 3 is a very important paper carrying 60 marks in our KCSE exam. When we come to paper 3, of course, the first question you know very well, it needs you to handle a creative question alongside B, which is argumentative. Yeah, so let's get deep into that. So I want to assure you that when you're asked to write a creative composition, the focus is to make you come up with a piece of writing that will describe a situation, build a mental picture of a place, a person, event, or experience. Now, you've learned that in Form 1, and therefore the clarity of your communication should answer questions such as what, how, why, when. The story should be a continuous flow of ideas that show, they should show the reader instead of telling, right? So if you manage to show instead of telling, you'll score highly. Now, when you're writing, you don't just have to write. You have to entertain. Just like you listen to music, it has spices. Just like food, buffet is better than when it's one meal. Yeah, so it should be a buffet with a lot of spices and, decorations of different food stuff. So when you're packaging, you are writing, you must be as creative as possible. Write a story to the full depth and choose a story that is mature. Make the reader smile, laugh, or even cry if possible. Now, how do you achieve this? The choice of a story is very important. If you choose a story that deals with the out of normality, the better. But if you choose stories that are common, things we see every day, just like a movie. If you watch a movie of something that happens every day, you are not interested in it. But you are captured by a video that is bringing something new to you, shocking, We must have those twists, turns, something to shock your mind or shock your temper or attitude or even the power to watch. Yeah? The sense of the story, therefore, is found in the choice of words. As you're writing, what kind of words are you choosing? Like if it's a house, what fine quality are you giving us? Or what worst quality are you giving us? If it's a wedding or birthday party, how is the dressing reflecting what the event will be? Yeah? How is the climate? What about the people around it? Now, what is the twist? What is the expectation we had and what happened later? Right? So, for example, you are defining to us burglar or a thief, and you just say a thief got into the house and stole. That is normal. But you have to tell us he had a bloodshot eyes that appeared alert and dangerous, a mean scar that ran on the left cheek, probably a product of gunfights. His hair was unkempt, and his mouth filled with uneven, coffee-stained teeth of stale tobacco. Have you heard that description? So I'm not just describing or explaining that a thief came and then they stole. I've begun with describing how this person looks like and why do I suspect. It may turn out that in the twist, this is the savior instead of the killer. And on the other hand, the killer can be very smartly dressed, very handsome, very sweet in how they speak. Consider the flow of ideas such that the flow of events are related to each other, yeah? So one paragraph should be related to the other, like you are building and convincing me to follow what you are writing. Yeah. So, for example, if they give you a composition, maybe to end with, the patient writhed in pain in bed. A doctor observed him keenly. Yeah? Think about what should have happened. Maybe it's an accident. who killed, who hit this person. You may bring out maybe a business partner. The turn of events, at first, it should be that these people are very much into good business, and then this happens, right? You may bring out somebody who is narrating. For example, my mother narrated how he had been knocked by a vehicle. The doctor wore the white dust coat. My brother had been knocked by a vehicle. And then go on and on until you end with the patient writhed in pain. Maybe somebody is narrating. So, remember, you should give details, but do not overdo it, right? Do not, when you serve a lot of food, it's not good at all. So I just want to show you some notes that you should consider as we proceed. Then I'll explain more. What is being tested? The use of imagination, ability to create a convincing original story. So it's not wise to carry maybe a story that you read somewhere in a book and bring it like it is. You can make it original by recreating it, but make it convincing so that if I have to laugh, let me laugh. If I have to cry, let me cry. Express yourself clearly and fluently, and it must be in English language. Some of the students mix up. You find they are mixing up Kiswahili and all that. Make sure that as you write, your composition has a lot of stylistic devices. And such devices come out of ability to synthesize, evaluate, apply some of the information you've read around. Demonstrate your skills of interpreting the question properly, so that if you've been given an ending, let it be correct. Let your sentences be complete and paragraphs. Vocabulary should be at the level of maturity. Now, when it's being marked, the linguistic competence is key. Have you been able to use language grammatically, like the spellings, the tense? Is it effective? Is it creative? Is it convincing? Is it original? Is it fluent and logical? So you've seen there that the tenses must be correct: verb, subject, agreement, spellings, punctuation, and sentence construction. Choose a voice. Do you want to write a story about yourself or another person? Should it be about past or something present or, Now use English as if it's a normal way of communicating. Don't strain. Express your emotions fully. Like if an accident is happening, the stomach would react, the chest, the heart, the brain. Are you able to engage all that and make whoever is reading feel you? Show those fears. Understand the culture. Be part of the aspirations. Be deliberate in your mood. If your mood is sad, let us actually sink deep into the sadness. If it's happy, let's get deep into it. Let's have an attitude clearly shown. What attitude are you trying to show? Are you contemptuous about whoever you are talking about? Or are you loving about them? What is your tone? Are you condemning something? Are you sorrowful? Are you sarcastic or are you ironical? Now, we also want to see organization of paragraphs. We have students who scatter information, so your composition must be very clear. And clarity comes with lucidity, so that we can simply follow your ideas and appreciate what you are saying. You are clear in a way that you are specific and precise, because you are using very specific vocabularies, and you are scoring. Like if we come to the word strange, you are not just using strange but weird, or which other word? You can get other, bizarre. So I want to focus on class A composition because that's what you want. It should be outstanding, attractive. You have full emotions, the spark. Very few gross errors, like we can see the spelling mistakes with you. Maybe you just slipped, but we can't see them. For example, I loathed having heard Riziki for an acquaintance. Did you see that? Acquaintance is a friend. Loathed is to hate. So you don't just say I hated, but you say I loathed having heard Riziki for an acquaintance. You can see when you use that, we feel your hatred. You can use idioms like I ate elephant meat because it's bad. Now you can see those sentences, and I want you to see which one is A. I abhorred elephant meat owing to its repulsive nature and tastelessness. Then we have I hated elephant meat because it is banned. I hated elephant meat because it was unpleasant and tasteless. So when you come to number 2, that is A, because abhor is to hate. You know, we can actually feel the level of hatred owing to its repulsive. Yeah, you can see even everybody will repulse from it. So avoid any other, but write as number 2. Now see that sample composition. The composition is, start with, when I arrived at the scene of the accident. So, of course, you must finish that sentence. When I arrived at the scene of the accident, I was taken aback. And make sure you don't write very long sentences after the ellipses are left, because it may mess your beginning. So just finish with very few words, a statement or a phrase. So like you've seen in this situation, I've just given you 4 words. When I arrived at the scene of the accident, I was taken aback, right? Items of clothing, torn shoes, and other personal effects were strewn all over the place. You've seen the choice of vocabulary. Then I saw a pool of blood, repulsion and nausea ganged to create knots of sadness and anger, threatening to tear my heart into pieces. You can see the rest of the part. And so as we proceed to discuss this, I hope you are internalizing how to write your creative composition. The other example is here. It is a composition written in 2010. The composition was right, a composition to illustrate the fact that crime does not pay. So you can see this composition scored very highly. We are heading to the graveside, full stop. Our eyes are blurred by torrents of tears cascading down our visage. A few mourners, close family members, are carrying a beautiful small casket headed to an equally adorned tiny grave. We are singing an equally beautiful hymn, Blessed Assurance, to bid farewell to this handsome young soul who has left us. I remember when it all began. It was on a Saturday. My mother had sent me to her bank to deposit a check on her behalf. I was elated. I had been indoors the entire week. Here was a chance for an outing and perhaps meet friends while I was at it. I was in high spirits. I took a warm shower, put on my new blue denim jeans, trousers, and a white t-shirt inscribed Jesus, my total peace. Put on a matching pair of Nike sneakers, tied my long dark hair to a ponytail, and off I went. The matatu stage was not far from home. I briskly walked there in a few minutes. Within no time, the mermaid came to a halt. I do not know why anybody would call a vehicle mermaid, but there she was, mermaid. We loved this public conveyance, not because of her name, but of her music. I took a seat near the window, opened a wee bit to let in some cool draught, and enjoyed the euphoria voice of Luther Vandross doing dance with my father. I so enjoyed this and other renditions by the singer that the 40 minutes drive to Makutona town seemed just a few seconds. I alighted and proceeded to Biashara Bank. The banking hall was a beehive of activities. There were 3 queues, each heading to the teller. I joined the second one, destined to the checks deposit teller. In the third line was this tall chocolate brown lady wearing a flowing pink dress with spots of black well blended at the bosom. Her hair fell nicely on her shoulders. So you read on and on, you realize that there's a gunshot, the robbers at the bank, and finally a voice roaring. Then there is a young boy who is curious because the mother is almost being attacked, and when she shouts, she's shot. You shout no, but then Kevin is lifted and a blood pool there. Yeah, so that's it. And of course, you've seen the spark of language and emotions. We can actually cry. Yeah, so this is the kind of composition expected of you, and this is out of deliberate choice of vocabulary, right? Merit ticks coming out of ideophones, phrasal verbs, good vocabularies that are properly used. Don't be bombastic in your vocabulary. Don't fill so many vocabularies. Have variety of sentences, simple, complex, and compound. Then affirmative sentences, negative, imperative, short and long ones. Good paragraphing. Like balancing paragraphs is very important. If you've decided your paragraphs are 7 sentences each, let it be throughout the work. It is some sort of art that you are creating. Be pleasant in how you are communicating so that you are focusing on virtues which can be rewarded and vices are punished. Have twists and turns, a well-planned composition. Contextual focus with flashbacks, dialogues, vivid description, lucid exposition, metaphors, similes, and idioms. Yeah, so avoid irrelevancy. If you exchange a story or you are irrelevant or the length is too much, avoid that. So that's it for now. When you come to composition 2, that is documentative. Of course, the rest of the marks on grammar are marked in the similar way. Now pick an argumentative composition if you are sure that you understand what is being talked about. Most of the matters that are tested are constitutional, aspects like inheriting land, fighting corruption, inclusivity, maybe the recent thing that happened, impeachments, things that happen every day.